everyone, welcome back. We're the Filmsmiths. I'm Nick.
And I'm Zach.
Today we're going to talk to you about Snowpiercer.
Also known as Thomas the Tank Engine gone rogue. So Snowpiercer...
It's about a train!
Yeah, it is about a train, but it's also about people in a train.
Basically what happens in this post-apocalyptic future society, global warming is of course a very big problem, and they create this chemical to kind of counteract it. However,
oops,
it does too much and now it's
we made
too cold!
it too cold here in the world! And so it gets super cold, everything freezes and dies, including humanity, except for the couple hundred people or so, maybe 1,000 or so, who come aboard this train, this big metal...
Very, very big train.
Which runs on a perpetual energy engine.
And it just circumvents the globe,
and it just
basically over and over.
It's an arc, basically. That's the rest of humanity. That's all of them. And so this train is divided very much, it's a hierarchical class system. You've got the man who invented the engine of the train.
Played by Ed Harris.
Played by Ed Harris at the head of it. Then you've got like very upper class, wealthy. You've got like some middle class-ish. You know, there's like some farmer types, which you hear about later. And then there's the back of the train, which is where we start and where all of our main protagonists come from. So our protagonist,
played by Chris Evans of Captain America fame.
He gets together a big group from the back of the train to sort of lead a rebellion against the, I guess you'd call them a military guard, who sort of keep them in check. Those people are led by Tilda Swinton, a character played by Tilda Swinton. And so eventually, pretty early on in the film, they're able to overtake the guards and kidnap Tilda Swinton. And then basically the story becomes this group from the back of the train just trying to work their way up the length of the train to the front. And there's really no clear end game set out.
They don't exactly have a goal, they just know that they need to get away from where they are and find something better.
The whole movie really takes place for the first half hour or so in the back of this train, where it's just squalor and dirt, and they eat protein blocks made of God knows what.
So many people are missing limbs.
Yeah, it's a terrible, terrible place. And then you take these people from this horrible environment, and suddenly they're in this very opulent, wealthy area, and it's very effective to see that. It's very well done. A lot of great scenes in this film. It's all great. There's a lot of great things, but there's one
really innovative too.
Really, it's creative and interesting. But there's one scene in particular which was my favorite. Basically, our protagonists are in a train car, and they are fighting against all these guys with masks and axes, and then they turn off the lights and all put on night vision goggles. The guards do. And then the perspective switches to first person. And
all of a sudden you're seeing out of one of the guards' eyes.
And so you sort of assume the position of one of these anonymous guards.
Yeah, it's not a main character at all.
Yeah, and there's no music or anything, and you just see, and you see like arms, and you're just fighting these people.
You're just hearing this battle.
And at one point, the camera like turns around and you make eye contact with Tilda Swinton, and she like looks right at you and is like, "No, you imbecile, turn around and fight them." And it's like, she's like yelling right at you, and it's very immersive, and boy, it's incredibly well done.
Very effective.
Really?
Effective and affective.
Yeah, it's creative, it's interesting, it's great. Well done.
We mentioned Ed Harris earlier. I don't feel like we've seen him in a while. I think Ed Harris is not only a terrific hero, also a terrific villain, and in this film it's really hard to pinpoint exactly where he falls.
Yeah, he's certainly an enigma. He's one of those people, he's sort of a Christ-like, well, not Christ-like in the, like he's a Christ figure, but people revere him as a god on this train. He's their savior, he has saved them.
And there's sort of a bad things but with good intentions vibe where you just don't know how to feel about it.
There's also a lot of like indoctrination, like a lot of the people from the front of the train are indoctrinated from children to revere this man. And then when you eventually do meet him and you try to figure him out, but it's tough. You really don't know who he is even after it's done. You can go either way.
The very famous South Korean actor Kang Ho-sung is in this. He's pretty well known from The Host, which was a South Korean monster movie. He helps Chris Evans lead the rebellion from the back, and I think he's terrific as well.
Everybody does a great job. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say Tilda Swinton in this movie is my favorite character from any movie of 2014.
So if we haven't convinced you to see it by now, that's got to seal the deal. That's a pretty high thing. Last but not least, let's mention John Hurt is in this.
Yeah.
John Hurt's always terrific. He's elderly because he's old in real life, but he's someone in the back of the train who is also highly revered. He's throughout.
He's like the one person from the back of the train who has respect amongst everybody on the train, including
Even Tilda Swinton.
You learn a lot about him later on as the plot unfolds. You learn everything with Chris Evans, and it's great.
So, Snowpiercer is a film that I think is one of the most original works of the year. I didn't have a lot of knowledge going into it, but it's something I've been wanting to see ever since I heard about it. It's an action film, but it's also thinking action. It's not just mindless stuff. There's a point to it. Performances are terrific. The writing is great. I give Snowpiercer a 9.
And I'll give Snowpiercer 74 shattered limbs.
Ooh, that's a lot.
So, our Snowpiercer review was requested by Chris Petersmark. Thanks for telling us to review this one. It was really great. Glad it
Also,
happened.
Dylan Clausen and Michael Gorski requested it as well. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Look at that.
It's our first request
Yep.
review. So when we ask you at the end for requests, this is proof we definitely mean it.
Look what
And
happens.
we'll drop your name. Give us some more. We love doing this. If you guys want us to review things, then we want to talk about them even more because you do. So keep them coming, please.
Yep. And so if you're someone who didn't request this but you still saw it, leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought. Share the video with your friends on the internet. Let them see it if they have seen it or want to see it.
Yeah. Our Twitter handles will be in the description box below. You can talk to us there. That's also pretty easy. We'll definitely respond back because we love talking to you guys if you want to talk about movies.
Thanks for watching. We're the Filmsmiths. I'm Zach.
And I'm Nick.
See you later.